We got to talk about AI because this story is just a glimpse of some of the dark times that we're living in with all these deep fakes going around, running around like crazy, untethered, unmanaged. And this is stuff that a lot of people who were paying close attention to this were warning about years ago when AI was first coming onto the scene. So this story from The Guardian. AI deepfakes of real doctors spreading health misinformation on social media. Hundreds of videos on TikTok and elsewhere impersonate experts to sell supplements with unproven effects. TikTok and other social media platforms are hosting AI-generated deepfake videos of doctors whose words have been manipulated to help sell supplements and spread health misinformation. The fact-checking organization Full Fact has uncovered hundreds of such videos featuring impersonated versions of doctors and influencers directing viewers to Wellness Nest, a US-based supplements firm. All the deepfakes involve real footage of a health expert taken from the internet. However, the pictures and audio have been reworked so that the speakers are encouraging women going through menopause to buy products such as probiotics and Himalayan shilajit from the company's website. The creators of deepfake health videos deploy AI so that, quote, someone well-respected or with a big audience appears to be endorsing these supplements to treat a range of ailments. Professor David Taylor Robinson, an expert in health inequalities at Liverpool University, is among those whose image has been manipulated. In August, he was shocked to find that TikTok was hosting 14 doctored videos purporting to show him recommending products with unproven benefits. Though Taylor Robinson is a specialist in children's health, in one video, the cloned version of him was talking about an alleged menopause side effect called, quote, thermometer leg. The fake Taylor Robinson recommended that women in menopause should visit a website called Wellness Nest and buy what is called a natural probiotic featuring, quote, 10 science-backed plant extracts, including turmeric, black cohosh, dim, and moringa, specifically chosen to tackle menopausal symptoms. Female colleagues, quote, often report deeper sleep, fewer hot flushes, and brighter mornings within weeks, the deepfake doctor added. The real Taylor Robinson discovered that his likeness was being used only when a colleague alerted him. It was really confusing to begin with, all quite surreal, he said. My kids thought it was hilarious. In one misleading video, he was depicted swearing and making misogynistic comments while discussing menopause. TikTok took down videos 6 weeks after Taylor Robinson complained. Initially, they said some of the videos violated their guidelines, but some were fine. That was absurd and weird because I was in all of them and they were all deepfakes. It was a faff to get them taken down, he said. Full Fact has also found similar deepfakes on X, Facebook, and YouTube, all linked to Wellness Nest or a linked British outlet called Wellness Nest UK. It has posted apparent deepfakes of high-profile doctors such as Professor Tim Spector and another diet expert, the late Dr. Michael Mosley. So they're just using dead people at this point. It doesn't even matter. Helen Morgan, the Liberal Democrat health spokesperson, said, quote, from fake doctors to bots that encourage suicide, AI is being used to prey on innocent people and exploit the widening cracks in our health system. This, to me, is one of the most egregious things about what's going on here is not only are we talking about AI and deepfakes and the whole problem that that's been causing since the rise of social media and now with ChatGPT and all these image generators and video generators that have come online the past few years, but what's most egregious about it is what this article is highlighting is how these actors are taking advantage of the broken healthcare system. So we have fake doctors giving out fake advice and fake recommendations to buy bogus products. And this is probably just one example of one industry here that's doing this. We could go into all kinds of other industries that are just squeezing the pocketbooks of those vulnerable, those maybe misinformed, those less educated. And honestly, it's kind of sickening to see in society that one of the big questions I have is how is this even legal? Like, how are people not facing legal consequences for this kind of stuff? But anyways, Mike, what do you think about what we're learning here with what's been going on with these fake doctors and fake supplements and all this AI stuff that we're going through?
It doesn't sound terribly surprising. Deep fakes have been talked about for about a decade or so now, but they've really been starting to get refined more and more lately. I know that there was an instance not too long ago where Marco Rubio was the victim of a deep fake. Um, so it's sort of entering all facets, and I think using it to have real doctors artificially endorse fake products is, or at least like potentially even harmful products. This is all a very dangerous area. This is why we need more and more regulation for AI. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm concerned about deep fakes in general, but I'm also concerned about just the misuse and misinformation being generated by AI as well. Because when we had the government shutdown, people were also using AI to create fake videos about specifically, usually Black women, complaining about not getting their food stamps or something like that, and making these pretty like severely racist videos that should were designed to make the right go like, oh, look at this, blah blah blah. It's a good thing we're cutting these people off, and it's just like, if they can do that with just everyday people, when you start adding living, professionals, whether they're political or not, like these doctors, and you're using that to endorse things, it only makes things worse.
Yeah, and from the political aspect of this, I mean, Trump and the Republicans were the first to start screaming bloody murder about all this AI deepfake stuff. Yet over and over again, they've been the ones using it. We saw the Trump AI video where he was wearing a crown, flying over the jet over like New York City or Chicago or somewhere, like shitting on everybody. But yet at the same time, he was claiming during the campaign last year that Kamala Harris was using AI during one of her events that like drew in lots of people. He falsely accused the Harris campaign of using AI, then turns around and actually uses AI to mock people. And then we have Elon over here who's been, raising alarm bells about AI for years now. And he's also been, promoting Grok, promoting the fact that it can generate all these great deep fakes and it's so good, and video generation. They've poured a lot of money and research and development into this. And it's like, bro, you were the one who's saying like AI could destroy civilization like 5 or 6 years ago, or even 10 years ago. And now you're over here building the thing that's actually doing a number on misinformation and disinformation. Like, how do you square those two things?
Yeah, on that note in particular, there is a an interview on the Daily Show that I saw with Jon Stewart featuring, I can't quite remember his name, but he was the guy that was in the Social Dilemma behind Humane Technologies.
Tristan Harris.
Yes, Tristan Harris. So he was interviewed by Jon Stewart on the Daily Show, and he talked about this exact dilemma, because he was saying Elon Musk actually came out strongly against AI, but he referred to it as, we don't want to unleash the demon, and but now he's one of the biggest pushers of it, because he feels that at his level he has a moral obligation, because if it's going to happen anyway, it might as well happen under me, because I can at least control how it'll happen. So I'm going to do the best I can for humanity, or whatever. But that's how you go from, oh, well, we shouldn't release this demon, to like, well, my demon's going to be the friendliest demon there is, or something like that. So I think Tristan did a really good job of explaining it, as well as elaborating on a number of things concerning AI that are definitely worrisome. He also touched on the story about how, I think it was a teenager who, I want to say it was earlier this year, maybe it was last year, who committed suicide after suggestions from ChatGPT. Basically, they were using ChatGPT for homework, and then within 6 months, they killed themselves. And when he asked ChatGPT if he should leave a noose out so his parents could see it, ChatGPT told him something along the lines of like, "No, I will be the one that witnessed. Let me be your witness," or something like that. So, and who's responsible for these things? OpenAI is turning around going, "Look, it's not our fault." Like, and it's just like, well, who can you even sue for these kinds of things? So we've got to hold AI companies a lot more accountable. We need regulation on these things, but I know that one of the things with the big beautiful bill is that it barred regulation for 10 years. So
Look, this is one of the products of capitalism. It's just a technological invention that's slowly killing society, but it's making a few billionaires rich. And it's just a perfect illustration of what a capitalist society produces, where the billionaires are in control of everything. They control the technology and they control the government, which is supposed to regulate the technology. So they don't let that happen. And then just another note on this, on the AI stuff, like we've got these data centers going up left, right, and center all across the United States, and they're poisoning the local environments. There's the example of the Grok data center, Elon Musk's AI in Memphis, Tennessee, that's poisoning the local communities because of the amount of electricity it demands. They had to install these extra generators that's just pouring pollution straight into the air. And that's just one example. I mean, there's so many going up. We got the Project Stargate from earlier this year with Trump and Sam Altman and Larry Ellison all involved in that project to get like the government, in on the action. We've got Google, of course, Microsoft, OpenAI, Anthropic, NVIDIA, like you name it. All the big tech companies are fully invested in this thing. And honestly, it doesn't look too bright of a future until we really start getting some good regulations in there, because I think this machine is just going to keep on running, and not necessarily for our best interest.
yeah, and there's also this new AI that Trump sort of mentioned the other day, this truth AI. So things are only going to get crazier. It's only going to get more difficult, and I fully agree that we need to not necessarily put the brakes on things, but we need to have like control. We need to be able to steer things and dial things, or at the very least, like I think something that would probably be a pretty decent regulation is any video ever made with AI is legally required to have a watermark. You know, so it shouldn't be too difficult to allow AI products to thrive and do well, but also have something that just says, "Hey, this is AI related." I know that on Steam, they now have a new category when you look at a video game where it'll mention, you know, X percentage of this game is generated using AI. So even within games, they have to be careful because consumers don't realize they could just be buying AI slop, which is made, by generating some assets for relatively cheap prices, and then they could sell it for a ton of money. And I think that's a whole other area where AI is definitely making an impact is with art. When you look at, music and actual like drawings and paintings and things like that as well.
Yeah, hopefully we can maybe learn a few things from the gaming industry. They seem to have a bit of a head start on like at least alerting the user to what's within the product. And honestly, we can't expect social media companies or their owners to step up, and this is where the government has to step in. And unfortunately, this administration is pro AI because this administration is pro billionaire, and it doesn't seem like we're going to get anything really under this. But hopefully, the future pulls us in a different direction, because otherwise, we're just stuck with AI slop and just cleaning up the mess afterwards.